Ever think about, like, what you would do if you knew exactly when your time was up?
Hmm.
Not in, like, a morbid way,
Yeah.
but just imagine, like, knowing you had a set amount of time to, like, truly make the most of life.
Right.
What if instead of, like, diligently saving for your kid's inheritance, you aim to spend every last dime before you go,
Wow.
squeezing every drop of joy and experience out of life? Sounds kind of wild, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the premise behind Bill Perkins' book, Die with Zero.
Okay.
And we are diving deep into it today.
It's certainly a thought-provoking concept,
Right.
challenging the deeply ingrained notion that we should save and sacrifice for the future,
Yeah,
often at the expense of the present.
exactly. Perkins flips that script entirely.
Hmm.
He suggests that we could actually be missing out on some of life's greatest rewards
Yeah.
by constantly deferring gratification and hoarding our wealth.
The central argument revolves around the idea that money, in and of itself,
Yeah.
has no inherent value. It's merely a tool for acquiring experiences and creating memories.
And these experiences, he argues, yield what he calls memory dividends.
Yeah.
The joy, the fulfillment, and the personal growth we derive from living a life rich in meaningful moments.
Think about it.
Yeah.
That incredible trip you took with friends.
Mm-hmm.
The time you finally learned to play that instrument you'd always dreamed of.
Yeah.
The feeling of accomplishment when you reached a personal goal.
Right.
Those memories become more valuable over time,
Yeah.
shaping who you are and how you view the world.
It's like those memories appreciate in value over time,
Mm-hmm.
becoming richer and more meaningful as we revisit them.
Yeah,
Unlike material possessions that often lose their luster and depreciate in value.
precisely. Perkins makes a compelling case for shifting our focus from accumulating wealth
Right.
to accumulating experiences,
Huh.
arguing that it's these experiences, not our bank balances, that ultimately define a life well lived.
He even uses a fascinating analogy to illustrate this point, comparing our life energy to our finances.
He suggests that spending a lifetime working and saving without allowing yourself to enjoy the fruits of your labor
Right.
is akin to letting that precious life energy go to waste.
Now, you might be thinking,
Yeah.
but what about my kids? Shouldn't I be leaving them a financial safety net? It's a natural concern.
Yeah.
And Perkins addresses it head on.
He proposes that.
Yeah.
Counterintuitively.
Yeah.
Giving money to your children and even charities earlier in life,
Yeah.
rather than leaving a traditional inheritance,
Okay.
may actually have a more significant and positive impact.
He even shares personal anecdotes about how he started giving money to his children at a younger age, allowing him to witness firsthand the positive ways they use those resources
Right.
and to share in their successes.
Think of it this way.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather have the opportunity to see your loved ones thrive and benefit from your generosity while you're still around?
Yeah.
To share in their joy?
It's a perspective shift that challenges us to rethink our priorities and consider the potential downsides
Yeah.
of delaying gratification and holding onto our wealth until the very end.
And speaking of timing, Perkins introduces another thought-provoking concept,
Okay.
peak utility of money.
He suggests that just like our physical abilities peak at certain ages,
Yeah.
our capacity to fully enjoy and derive maximum value from experiences may also have a prime window.
Imagine that epic backpacking trip you've always dreamed of taking. Wouldn't you get more out of it physically and mentally if you did it while you were younger and more physically capable?
And this brings us to a rather sobering statistic from the Federal Reserve Board.
Okay.
The average age for inheriting money is around 60.
Which, according to Perkins, could potentially be past the point when many people are best equipped to fully embrace and experience certain types of adventures and opportunities.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? If you could design your ideal spending curve throughout life, where would those peaks and valleys be?
Would you front load those incredible experiences,
Yeah.
taking full advantage of your peak years?
Hmm.
Or would you save it all for later,
Right.
potentially missing out on the chance to fully savor those moments?
It's a question worth pondering,
Yeah.
and we'll delve deeper into it as we continue our deep dive.
It's all about finding the balance
Right.
between planning for the future and making the most of the present moment.
But before we move on,
Yeah.
I want to share a really compelling anecdote from the Personal Kaizen blog that perfectly illustrates the impact of timing when it comes to life-changing experiences.
Oh.
It talks about how a profound experience,
Yeah.
especially one that happens earlier in life, can shape your trajectory and have ripple effects for years to come.
It's like setting off a chain reaction of positive growth
Yeah.
and self-discovery that you carry with you throughout your life.
And this segues perfectly into Perkins's suggestion that the ideal net worth peak, that point where you start actively spending down your savings,
Yeah.
might be somewhere between the ages of 45 and 60 for most people. It's a bold proposition that goes against much of the conventional financial advice we're bombarded with.
It's certainly a departure from the traditional save for retirement mantra,
Right.
but Perkins argues that this approach actually aligns better with our natural life cycles
Yeah.
and allows us to truly maximize our life enjoyment.
So how do we even begin to wrap our heads around this seemingly radical idea of spending down our hard-earned savings?
Mm.
Perkins doesn't just throw out this concept
Yeah.
without offering practical guidance. He provides a framework for approaching this shift in mindset
Right.
and offers tools for making it a reality.
One of the first steps he suggests is to shift our thinking about money from a source of security to a tool for enabling experiences and creating lasting memories.
It's about recognizing that true wealth isn't measured solely by the numbers in our bank accounts,
Yeah.
but by the richness of our experiences and the impact we make on the world around us.
It's about viewing money as a means to an end rather than an end in itself.
And it's about challenging that deep-seated fear that many of us have,
Yeah.
the fear of running out of money.
Which can often lead to what financial writer Brett Ahrens calls underconsumption, the tendency to spend less than we comfortably could,
Right.
even when we have ample resources,
Yeah.
simply because we're so fixated on preserving our nest egg.
It's like we're so busy stockpiling for a rainy day that we forget to enjoy the sunshine.
And Perkins argues that this fear-driven approach to finances can actually rob us of opportunities to create those memory dividends, those experiences that truly enrich our lives.
He even suggests that for some people, the traditional notion of retirement as a time to finally relax and enjoy the fruits of our labor might be getting in the way of truly living life to the fullest.
He challenges the idea that retirement should be synonymous with austerity, with cutting back and living frugally.
Instead, he suggests that it could be a time for actively pursuing our passions, for embarking on new adventures, for deepening our relationships,
Yeah.
and for making the most of our freedom and flexibility.
Of course, this isn't about advocating for reckless spending or ignoring the need for financial planning.
Right.
It's about finding that sweet spot between responsible financial management and maximizing our life enjoyment.
And to help us navigate this delicate balance, Perkins introduces a practical tool called time bucketing.
Time bucketing is essentially a way to visualize your life timeline and strategically allocate experiences to different periods based on your health, your available time, and yes, your finances.
It's about recognizing that different stages of life offer unique opportunities for certain types of experiences,
Right.
and that those opportunities might not always be available later on.
For instance, you might prioritize adventurous travel or physically demanding activities in your younger years, when you're more resilient and have fewer commitments. While in your later years, you might focus on experiences that emphasize personal growth, intellectual pursuits,
Right.
or spending quality time with loved ones.
The key is to be proactive and intentional about planning your life experiences, rather than simply letting things unfold randomly or waiting until retirement to finally start living your dreams.
Time bucketing is all about making the most of every chapter of your life.
Right.
Recognizing that each stage offers its own unique set of possibilities and joys.
It's about aligning your spending with your values and your goals, ensuring that your financial resources are working for you rather than the other way around.
And as we've discussed, this approach often involves challenging deeply ingrained societal norms and expectations around inheritance.
We even saw a real-life example of this on the SBS program Insight, where a couple shared their decision to actively spend their children's inheritance on travel and experiences.
They even started a Facebook group called Spending Kids Inheritance,
Oh, wow.
connecting with others who share a similar philosophy and are choosing to prioritize creating memories and living fully in the present.
It's definitely a provocative idea,
Yeah.
but it speaks to a growing movement of people who are questioning conventional wisdom and redefining what it means to live a rich and fulfilling life.
Now, of course, this approach isn't for everyone.
Right.
It requires a certain level of comfort with risk and a willingness to challenge deeply held beliefs about money and security.
But for those who resonate with the die with zero philosophy, the potential rewards can be profound.
Yeah.
It's about living a life that's aligned with your values, free from financial anxiety, and filled with those moments that make life truly worth living.
But how do we actually put this philosophy into practice?
Yeah.
How do we determine when it's time to shift from accumulation to decumulation?
Right.
From saving to spending?
Well, Perkins offers some practical guidance on that front as well. He introduces the concept of the net worth peak.
Okay.
A point in time when you've reached a level of financial security
Yeah.
that allows you to comfortably enjoy your later years without depriving yourself of enriching experiences along the way.
It's not just about reaching a certain number in your bank account,
Right.
but about identifying a specific date.
Yeah.
A target point on your life timeline when you can confidently start drawing down your savings to fund those adventures and experiences you've planned for.
And to determine your own personal net worth peak, Perkins recommends taking several factors into consideration.
He suggests calculating your annual survival cost,
Okay.
which is essentially the amount of money you need each year to cover your basic living expenses
Right.
and maintain your desired lifestyle.
This involves taking into account everything from housing and food to healthcare, transportation, and leisure activities.
Yeah.
It's about understanding your baseline spending needs so you can accurately project how much you'll need to maintain your desired quality of life throughout your later years.
In addition to your financial needs, Perkins emphasizes the importance of considering your health and how it might affect your ability to enjoy certain experiences as you age.
He even suggests consulting with your doctor to get a realistic assessment of your biological age and potential health trajectory.
Yeah.
Allowing you to factor in any potential limitations
Right.
or adjustments you might need to make to your plans as you get older.
This proactive approach to health planning empowers you to make informed decisions about your spending and ensures that you're prioritizing experiences that are both enjoyable and attainable at different stages of your life.
It's about recognizing that our physical capabilities and energy levels may fluctuate over time and adjusting our plans accordingly.
Once you've identified your net worth peak, it's time for the exciting part, decumulation.
This is the stage where you begin strategically spending down your savings to fund those amazing experiences you've mapped out on your time bucket list.
It's about shifting from a mindset of saving and preserving to one of enjoying and experiencing.
Now, some of you might be thinking, but what if I outlive my savings? What if I run out of money before I die? It's a valid concern, and one that Perkins addresses directly.
He acknowledges that there's always a degree of uncertainty when it comes to predicting the future, especially when it comes to our health and longevity.
But he also emphasizes that the goal isn't to die with exactly $0 in the bank. It's about striking a balance between maximizing your life enjoyment and ensuring a comfortable and secure future.
He suggests incorporating tools like annuities into your financial plan, which can provide a guaranteed stream of income throughout your retirement years, mitigating the risk of outliving your savings.
And he encourages us to view this process as an ongoing experiment, a journey of discovery where we're constantly learning, adapting, and refining our approach as we go.
It's about embracing flexibility and being open to adjusting our plans as our circumstances change.
Because ultimately, the Die with Zero philosophy is about more than just money. It's about time.
It's about recognizing that our time on Earth is finite and precious. And that every moment is an opportunity to create memories. To connect with others, to learn and grow, and to make a difference in the world.
It's about choosing to spend our time on things that truly matter to us. Rather than letting it slip away in pursuit of an ever-elusive financial finish line.
And this brings us to the concept of opportunity cost.
Every decision we make, every choice we face comes with an opportunity cost.
It's the trade-off we make when we choose one path over another.
For example, choosing to work extra hours to earn more money might come at the expense of spending quality time with loved ones or pursuing a passion project.
Delaying that dream trip to save more for retirement might mean missing out on experiencing a destination while you're still young and healthy enough to fully enjoy it.
Perkins challenges us to become more aware of these opportunity costs and to make choices that align with our values and our vision for a fulfilling life.
It's about asking ourselves, what am I giving up by choosing this path? Is it worth the trade-off?
And it's about recognizing that sometimes the most rewarding experiences come with a degree of risk and a willingness to step outside of our comfort zones.
Especially when we're younger and have less to lose. Those calculated risks can lead to some of our most cherished memories and shape the stories we tell about our lives.
Because ultimately, the Die with Zero philosophy is about crafting a life that's rich in experiences, in meaningful connections, and in those moments that leave us feeling truly alive.
It's about writing a compelling story with our lives, a story that reflects our values, our passions, and our unique contributions to the world.
And that story, my friends, is much more valuable than any amount of money we could ever leave behind.
It's about leaving behind a legacy of experiences and inspiration.
Right.
Rather than just a pile of unspent wealth.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Bill Perkins' Die with Zero philosophy, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've explored and consider how these ideas might apply to our own lives.
We've delved into the concept of memory dividends. Those lasting returns we reap from investing in experiences rather than just accumulating material possessions.
We've explored the notion that our capacity for enjoying certain experiences may have peak periods just like an athlete's physical prime, making it crucial to consider timing when planning our life adventures.
We've challenged the traditional idea of inheritance, suggesting that giving while we're alive could have a greater impact and allow us to share in the joy of our loved ones' successes.
And we've confronted the fear of running out of money. Exploring tools like annuities that can provide a sense of financial security while still allowing us to enjoy our resources.
But perhaps most importantly, we've been encouraged to question conventional wisdom, to think critically about our values and goals, and to make conscious choices about how we spend our time and our money.
Because in the end, it's not about blindly following a set of rules or striving for a perfect financial scorecard.
It's about crafting a life that feels authentic and fulfilling to you, a life that's rich in experiences, in meaningful connections, and in the pursuit of what truly matters.
So as you reflect on this deep dive, we invite you to ask yourself a few questions.
What experiences have brought you the most joy and fulfillment in your life?
What adventures are still on your bucket list waiting to be checked off?
What legacy do you want to leave behind? A financial one, an experiential one, or perhaps a beautiful blend of both?
And how can you start making choices today that will lead to a life that feels rich and rewarding, both in the present moment and when you look back on it years from now?
Remember, the goal isn't to simply spend every last dollar before we die. It's about making conscious decisions about how we allocate our resources, both financial and temporal. In a way that aligns with our values and brings us the most joy and fulfillment throughout our lives.
It's about embracing the journey, learning as we go, and finding that sweet spot between financial security and maximizing our life enjoyment.
And who knows, maybe by embracing the Die with Zero philosophy, we might just discover that we're actually living richer and more meaningful lives than we ever thought possible.
If you enjoyed this deep dive into Die with Zero, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking explorations of unconventional ideas and alternative perspectives.
And be sure to share this episode with anyone you think might benefit from a fresh perspective on money time and the pursuit of a fulfilling life.
Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep living a life that's truly rich in every sense of the word.